Back to episode 3 of the Standard Podcast. I'm your host, Steve Hare, and my co-host, Jacob Anderson. Say hello.
Oh, hello.
Jeez. We are back after a 1-week hiatus. Very happy to be back. Today we will be discussing free agency and that sort of stuff. Before I forget, got to give a quick shout out to the listeners today. Specifically all the boys at Wegmans. Appreciate you. Friends and family, thank you for listening, and just want to keep producing good episodes for you. So
thank you, Ian Lamana.
Thank you, Ian Lamana. Yes. And all right, yeah. So without further ado, we got free agency discussion. One question I wanted to ask you, Jake, is how do you think the approach will change with Kevin Colbert gone?
Colbert.
Okay.
It's Colbert.
Stephen Colbert, Kevin Colbert.
I just continue.
It's all the same.
Continue.
So how do you think that'll change, if at all?
Well, it depends who they get as their next GM. Kevin Colbert said he's going to stay on he's going to have a minority role on the team. I think the two guys that make the most sense for the Steelers is Omar Khan and Brandon Hunt.
Both inside guys.
I do like Louis Riddick.
Yep.
And it's better not to take anybody from another organization because then we lose draft picks. And they are much needed for the Steelers right now since they have a lot of depth issues on their team. But with Kevin Colbert still there, and if they hire a Louis Riddick, I think the culture changes a little bit to a more free agency. They're going to still stick to the draft, but I think they're going to have you're going to see a couple more big name free agents come available, and I think the Steelers are probably going to get more aggressive in free agency coming into the later months, especially with tampering starting on Monday.
Okay. I mean, yeah, traditionally, specifically since Colbert's been our GM, we haven't really spent big during free agency.
They got Joe Hayden at one time.
Got Joe Hayden. I think the biggest free agent signing, which, to be fair, I mean, long time favorite, signed James Ferrier.
Yeah.
That's like the biggest one he's had.
And then they traded for Minka. I mean, they've done stuff.
They make moves, but just free agency hasn't never really been the method, I guess.
I think the biggest talking point for free agency last year was that the Steelers got Dwayne Haskins.
Yeah, our third string quarterback.
And then they got Melvin Ingram.
Only played 4 games.
He played more than 4 games.
Played is an overstatement.
But they haven't. I mean, they didn't have the cap space to be aggressive last year. They have the cap space now. They're sitting at $20 million after the Miles Killebrew and the what's his name? I can't think. Arthur Mollett trade. I'm not trade. Signing.
Yeah.
So
2 years.
Yeah, 2 years. They both got 2 years. Both got $4 million each. So they had $28 million. Now they're down. They had $28 million, and then they signed a couple other guys too. So now they're down to $20 million due to expanded rosters. So I'm kind of going to take a dive into it, how they can get more money in cap space, and it's not really that hard. So how much do you think Zach Banner makes for next year? How much do you think he's set to make?
Well, so it's what, $5 million this year?
He's set to make a lot of money.
Next year, say 8.
He's set to make $6.5 million. You cut him, you save $5 million in cap.
Yeah, or that's what you said.
Yeah, he's making $6.5 million currently. You cut him, it saves $5 million in cap, and then you go to $1 million in dead cap. Totally worth it, in my opinion.
That's a lot of money for Zach Banner.
Jesus. Yeah, and he hasn't played. Another thing you can do. How much do you think Joe Schobert's going to make next year?
Would I be wrong in saying it's more than Banner?
Oh, it's more than Banner.
Yeah, I would feel like it is. For him, I'll say 8.
More. He's the number 5 on the roster currently. $9.72 million.
Jesus
you
Christ.
cut him, you save almost $8 million in cap, with $1.7 going to dead cap. So you have that, and then I'm mostly doing this because I don't like him, but Mason Rudolph is said to make a pretty penny.
Well,
for being a lackluster bad quarterback.
That's generous.
He's set to make $4 million. You cut him, you save $3 million.
That's a couple million more than my liking.
So, those are the 4 guys I would get. 3 guys I would get rid of.
Yeah.
You could also get rid of a couple other guys depending on what you want. You could get rid of Stephon Tuitt. Cutting Stephon Tuitt would save you only $4.295 million and go $9 million when you go to dead cap. So it doesn't really make sense.
Yeah. Especially if there's a possibility that he can come back and play.
And I lost it. Why did I just lose him? Okay, well, he just fell off my roster on Spot Track. Whatever. It's fine. So yeah, those are the other guys you could cut. Any other person you could cut, you could cut Derek Watt if you get Connor Haywood in the draft. Yeah, saves $2.75 million. I mean,
It's
Oh, I forgot to cut Joe Haig.
Joe Haig's another 2.5.
Yeah,
Somewhere around there.
cutting Joe Haig, we get $2.6 million.
Yeah, so right around there.
So not really worth it on that part. And I'm trying to go through the rest of the roster, seeing if I really don't see anybody else. I mean, you could cut Benny Snell, but Benny Snell's not bound to make that much money right now.
No.
So I don't see a big reason in cutting him. Zach Banner, Joe Schobert, Mason Rudolph are the three people that I think could get cut. And Joe Haig. Joe Haig's bound to get cut, I think.
Yeah.
And then I'm kind of still going down the list. I don't really see anybody else we could really cut at the moment because depth pieces are important to the Steelers.
Especially with this team. Yep.
So who do you want to re-sign from last year's roster to next year's roster?
Well, another person I would say I don't want to re-sign would be Juju.
Yeah, I think he's going to cost too much money.
I don't know how much we'd be saving with them, but this point doesn't really matter with me. I mean, if he wants to go, if we let him go.
Yeah, I agree.
Joe Hayden has already made it very clear that he will be out here.
He doesn't want to be gone, but you know he's going to be gone.
Yeah.
It's just kind of one of those situations.
We've kind of we've known that for a little bit now. So
anybody else you're kind of you haven't really said anybody. Anybody else you don't want them to get back? Eric Ebron probably.
That I don't want to get back. Yeah, I'd include him in there too. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know how much we'd be saving by getting rid of him.
And then obviously you're not resigning Ben Roethlisberger.
No, he's retired.
Yep. So and then Isaiah Buggs. How do you think about him? I caught him last in the offseason.
I personally kind of like Isaiah Buggs, but
Bold strategy.
again, we have a lot of depth on the D line when it's healthy.
Yeah.
And he's not really part of that. So.
What about so the three guys I want to keep: Terrell Edmonds, Ahkello Witherspoon, and Ray McLeod.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah. That's all I'm really looking at. The Steelers free agents that they need to resign. I think Ahkello, he's bound to make $3 to $4 million for next year. I think. And Terrell Edmonds probably $6 to $7 million around that range. And Ray White, I mean he doesn't do much. He's just a kicker punt returner, probably $1.5 million.
Yeah, I mean
that's on the generous side, I think.
I think right now he's only at $1 million, anyways. So
yeah, maybe 1.5 to $2 million. The $2 million is very generous.
Yeah. Yeah, specifically Witherspoon and Edmonds, I would like to have back.
Yeah.
I know a lot of fans will probably agree with that. But.
Yeah. No, I agree. So Steelers needs for the off season. Quarterback.
Obviously, that's the big one.
Wide receiver.
Some good depth at wide receiver. Yeah.
Backup running back.
We don't have any good backup running backs.
Nope.
Benny Snell's our backup running back.
Left tackle's good, I think.
I mean, anybody on the O-line.
No, I really think Dan Moore's going to come into his own. Kevin Dotson's going to be back at left guard. So center, depending, I don't want to re-sign Trey Turner. So right guard, we need a right guard.
I said, yeah, I guess the right side then.
Yeah, and then if you want to re-sign Chucks.
I mean, and you could, always try and, get a center. You move
Chucks is still on contract for another year.
Is he?
Yes.
Okay.
And he was doing better at the end of the season, so keep him. So right guard and center are the biggest needs on the O-line. I really do believe that Dan Moore will come into his own. Kevin Dotson's gonna have a good season coming back. I'm not ready to give up on Kendrick Green yet, but I'm ready to give up on him on center. So moving
Well,
to Rico,
that's what I'm saying. If you can acquire a center and you move him over to guard,
I'm
that-
totally fine with that because he is a big guy. He's very. I mean, you see all these. He's a monster in like the weight room, so he has the
Mhm.
ability to be a strong guy, win the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
But he's not. I don't think he has the skill set to be a center. And Chucks didn't allow a sack in the last 6 games of the season. Obviously, he's not great at run blocking, but he, again, new O-line coach, could get something going there.
okay. Defensively,
Depends if Tua comes back.
if we can get to it and Tyson Alualu back,
Tyson Alualu is already coming back. He's on a contract for another year.
okay. So then, defensive line, I think we're pretty set on
Yeah.
that. I know people were talking about Jordan Adams and all that.
Fletcher Cox was in the trade consideration.
Yeah, Fletcher Cox.
I don't really. Fletcher Cox is so much of a cap casualty.
No, and he's kind of up there in age, anyways.
He's only 31.
Yeah, but is he gonna last that long? That spot, anyways? Probably not.
Cam Hayward. I mean, he got into his prime when he was 30.
Cam Hayward's just a tank.
Well, he used to suck. His like first 3 years he wasn't good.
All right, his first 3 years.
He was a draft bust when they first got him. Let's be honest.
It's a long time ago.
He even says that. Backup outside linebackers. Probably.
Backup outside linebackers.
I think they're gonna get Taco back. I think they have Taco back for another year.
You're a big taco guy.
I'm a big backup Taco guy because
Yeah.
I think he can do the job. So you get a guy who can go behind Alex Highsmith.
And TJ, yep.
Yeah. Inside linebacker. I already have something that can save inside linebacker.
We need some help there.
So with me cutting Joe Schobert, that saves almost $8 million.
Yeah.
I think you try to go get Bobby Wagner.
A lot of fans would be happy with that too.
Yeah.
I think. And Bobby Wagner is a great player.
I only think Bobby Wagner comes if you get Deshaun Watson.
Get them both.
No, but I really only think Bobby Wagner will consider coming to the Steelers if
Well,
you get Deshaun Watson.
yeah, he wants to win, and we're
Yeah.
not winning games with Mason Rudolph as a quarterback.
Well, even Deontay Johnson, if you go to his likes, he was liking a bunch of
pushing
tweets
for Watson.
for Watson. Yeah.
See, that's the thing. Have you heard anybody on the team this whole offseason say one thing about Mason Rudolph that they want him to be the guy?
Even Ray McLeod doesn't want him. And I think I know why Ray doesn't
Well,
want him.
yeah,
Because he threw the ball in the dirt when Ray had his first touchdown in his career.
around
He
his
threw the ball-
touchdown. But
Yeah.
the point is, nobody is advocating for Mason Rudolph.
He's not
on
even
that
advocating
team.
for himself.
They're not saying they're not, but
And then, like, if you saw that interview with what's that CBS? Oh, Jim Rome.
Yeah.
If you saw his interview with Mason Rudolph was just throwing shots at Ben Roethlisberger the entire time. He's like, "Well, Ben has these concepts that he likes to run." It's just kind of like, shut up. Like, and then he was trying to like say like Matt Canada, like, and then he was throwing shots at Matt Canada. Like, I don't like Matt Canada, but you give Matt Canada a dinosaur at quarterback, it's not going to be
there's
great.
not that much to work with.
So I'm fine giving Matt Canada another year. I mean, I don't like him. I don't want to give him another year, but I'll give him another year.
We'll give them the benefit of the doubt
I guess.
for this year at least.
And then free safety, you're good with Minka and Trey Norwood.
Safeties are good.
And then you're re-signing Terrell Edmonds.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a good duo.
If
back
we can't
there.
get Terrell Edmonds, I think you go right for Whitefield, who used to play for the Panthers, so the Steelers know him very well. Or you go to get Tyrann Mathieu. But Terrell Edmonds is only 25 years old.
Yeah.
So, I don't see it.
He's worth re-signing.
And he's been getting better throughout the years.
He's steady. Like
He is steady. I think this would be a perfect time to go into any trade situations before we talk about more free agent signs. I think the biggest rumor of this whole entire offseason is who's going to be the next Steelers quarterback
Yep.
after Ben Roethlisberger.
Yep.
And with Deshaun Watson,
All right. Well, let's start with who's off the market now, because we've been basically involved with everybody
Aaron Rodgers
at
off the
some
market.
point or another. No Rodgers, no Wilson, no Wentz.
Oh wow! Oh no!
So
Wentz.
oh no, people don't freak out over that. So that leaves what? Jimmy G.
Jimmy G, Deshaun Watson,
Watson.
Jameis Winston,
Mariota.
Mariota, and Trubisky.
I don't think we get Trubisky.
I don't
I don't
Trubisky.
want Trubisky. I don't know why anyone would want Trubisky.
I don't. I mean, go for the draft at that point. If you're not, The only person, and I say this with a lot of doubt in my mind, is go get Deshaun Watson, and this is why I have a lot of reserves about him. 22 active sexual harassment civil court cases still going on.
That's a lot.
Just because you're not indicted by the grand jury, and there's 3 reasons why he wasn't indicted by the grand jury. But not being indicted by the grand jury does not mean he was innocent. It means that the prosecution did not bring enough evidence and testimony for this grand jury to indict him for a trial, which is surprising because there's a saying in many law schools that says any prosecutor can indict a ham sandwich. It's not hard to get an indictment from the grand jury. And then people were freaking out, Deshaun Watson's not testifying in the grand jury. 99% of the time, the defendant doesn't even testify in the grand jury because they're afraid that you could just put yourself into guilt. So many defendants, they don't testify in the grand jury because there's no need to because you're not at trial. So there's 3 reasons why the grand jury didn't indict him. 1, the prosecution team absolutely stunk and they didn't bring any evidence or any testimonies that were actually bring that. And that's unlikely. Second, the grand jury was swayed against a very rich and wealthy person, and they knew him by name and they didn't trust the other people. It was also in Houston. Deshaun Watson's liked in Houston. A grand jury says 23 random citizens.
Right.
All in that area. Yeah. They all know who Deshaun Watson is. Did they give him the benefit of the doubt? Most likely.
Possibly, yeah.
Or did Deshaun Watson pay the state to not indict him? So to make evidence just go away. Also possible. Those are the 3 reasons why I didn't want him. But there are still 22 active civil lawsuits still going on. No other player in NFL history has ever had 22 active cases at one time. We don't know what the suspension could look like. If he admits guilt, if he's guilty in any one of those, means that down the road more of those active civil cases are going to be guilty, or he's just going to pay people off. The league is still going to look at that and be like, wow, he settled in 10 cases, guilty in 5 cases, and not guilty in the rest.
Mm.
That's probably going to be a year or more suspension. Why would you trade 3 first-round picks for a guy that could be suspended for a whole year? He didn't even play last year. Yeah. He's not going to play again. He might not play again next year. I don't see why you go after him. But then there's a Steeler fan inside me that's like, go get him. He's a top. When Deshaun Watson plays,
he's at his best,
he's a top 5 quarterback in the NFL.
No doubt.
He's an elite quarterback, great skill set, but he absolutely screwed himself with this trial in all these cases.
Yeah. Has anyone ever had 22 across their whole career? Like 22 is a lot.
20 no one's ever had this in the NFL, not in any sports history, from what I can imagine.
I wouldn't think so. No.
So it's really tough for me to get on this Deshaun Watson train when you have a guy like Malik Willis who could be like Deshaun Watson. You have a guy like Kenny Pickett who could be another Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
You have all these guys in the draft that you can go get. And with other teams getting these quarterbacks, the less likely these quarterbacks get taken in the draft.
Right.
So the Steelers could easily trade up. I think NFL mock draft had the Steelers trade up to 11 with the Chargers getting Kenny Pickett.
Okay.
I would much rather have Kenny Pickett.
I would too.
Than Deshaun Watson.
Yep.
Because you know Kenny Pickett's going to be there to play. Deshaun Watson could get suspended anytime during the season.
Yeah.
The Steelers could be on a great run, and the NFL could be like 8-game suspension, and that could go through the playoffs. So, what do you do with that? Dwayne Haskins is playing because I'm cutting Mason Rudolph from the roster to save $3 million, obviously.
You don't want either of those guys anyways. So.
I honestly think that if the Steelers bring Kenny Pickett, he's not going to have any room to grow. So, this is my idea. If you are bound to if you're not going to get Deshaun Watson, you get a vet quarterback. Mm-hmm. My idea, Tyrod Taylor. Who backed up Tyrod Taylor before they went into play? Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, and Davis Mills.
That's right. Yeah.
Those 2 of those guys are absolute studs in the league now. Davis Mills was having a really good couple games down the stretch of the season.
Yeah, he's still young.
Tyrod Taylor, he knows his time is almost done in the league. He can help a Kenny Pickett. He can help a Malik Willis. get into that mojo of NFL football.
Yeah.
He could be a good mentor. Tyrod Taylor plays a couple games. Tyrod Taylor can still give you a chance to win in the league.
Tyrod Taylor took that Bills team to the playoffs to end their drought.
Tyrod Taylor still gives you a very nice chance to win a couple games
Yeah.
before your rookie quarterback comes in. That's what Ben Roethlisberger did. That's what a lot of these great quarterbacks did. They sat behind somebody before they got in. But then there's teams like who just threw their quarterbacks down the line. The Patriots threw Mac Jones out there, but Mac Jones, he's the greatest coach in the league.
Yep.
I mean, other teams are just throwing their rookie quarterbacks out there being absolutely obliterated. Zach Wilson,
Jets. Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence.
Yep.
So there's guys that you can get. So I honestly think you go after a Tyrod Taylor because you know that if you draft Kenny Pickett, it's going to be a quarterback battle between him and Mason Rudolph. And how much is Kenny Pickett really going to learn from that?
Right.
Not much.
That's not a situation you want to put a rookie into.
Or Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah,
There's a lot of rumors that Jacoby Brissett might be coming to the Steelers.
that's a lot of what people have been saying because Matt Canada was his coach
at NC State.
in college.
But you would still draft a quarterback with him.
Yeah.
So either one of those guys, I think, would be good mentors to because they know they're not a starting quarterback. They know they're not a starting quarterback. Mason Rudolph still has his thought in his head that he's a starting quarterback in the NFL. Dwayne Haskins still thinks he can be a starting quarterback in the NFL.
Right.
You cut Mason Rudolph to get the veteran backup. You let Mason Rudolph go off to wherever he wants to go. You draft the rookie quarterback. Then you have a solid quarterback room with a mentor and rookie ready to learn. With Dwayne Haskins also ready to learn, I guess. Whatever he knows.
Mm-hmm.
But that's my idea. I don't think you go to. I personally don't think you get Deshaun Watson. You probably have a different viewpoint than I do.
No, I don't actually. Like you said, like the strict football fan of you.
You want Deshaun Watson.
You want Deshaun Watson because you know he's a great player, but it's just all that comes with it. That is it really worth it? No.
Because you can get that veteran guy for about. I would say you can get Tyrod Taylor for less than $2 million.
I wouldn't imagine it'd be very much at all. Yeah.
I guess you could go after Jacoby Brissett too. I don't want Jacoby Brissett.
I mean, there's guys out there on the market. There's options. So
There's definitely options. Maybe bring Ben Roethlisberger back to mentor somebody. Maybe
bring him back as a coach or something.
I wouldn't be opposed to that.
I would not be opposed to that at all.
I mean, I like Ben.
I guess so. Sticking on the other quarterback train, what other teams do you think are still in as much need of a QB as we are?
Saints.
There's Saints.
Colts.
There's Panthers are in.
Colts don't have a first round pick, so they can't get a rookie.
Right. There's
Panthers.
Panthers. They got their pick.
Commanders could still go out and
Washington Commanders. Yes.
I really think the Commanders still could go out and get a quarterback in the rookie with the draft.
It's definitely
But
possible.
the reason why they traded for Carson is so they didn't have to raise their first round pick on a quarterback.
Yeah.
Especially with a weak class like this is, but there are still some good quarterbacks in this class.
For sure.
So that's my opinion about that.
We can get that more closer as draft time approaches.
Yeah, but besides those teams, one of those teams is gonna get Deshaun Watson. Oh, the Buccaneers need a quarterback too.
That's right. I could see.
The Panthers or Saints are gonna get Deshaun Watson, and whichever team doesn't get Deshaun Watson is gonna get Jameis Winston.
You think it's gonna be one of those two?
I think whatever team doesn't get Deshaun Watson is gonna get Jameis Winston. So if the Panthers get Deshaun Watson, the Saints are gonna take back Jameis Winston. If the Saints get Deshaun Watson, the Panthers are gonna get Jameis Winston. But then you throw the Texans. The Texans come in now, and they might get a rookie quarterback.
Okay.
Yeah. So my idea is you hope the Saints get Deshaun Watson, so the Texans have a very lower draft pick than the Steelers.
Yeah.
Or not lower, but they're 18. The Steelers are 20. Steelers could jump above them
It's only a 2-pick difference.
because I really think the Steelers could trade their 20th overall pick this year. And if they really believe that Kenny Pickett or Malik Willis could be the next future of the team, you trade next year's first with that.
Yeah.
You go up 10 picks. You get your quarterback.
It's just tough to predict because
I'm ready to hear Mel Kiper go oh, the Steelers got their guy. They got their guy. Kenny Pickett is their guy. Malik Willis is their guy.
that's what you want to hear.
Matt Corral is their guy. One of those three. I'm a big Kenny Pickett guy.
I'd say out of those three, Pickett's probably my first choice Willis is number 2.
But remember, he has tiny hands.
Oh yeah, he's got tiny hands. He's going to stop him from being a great quarterback in the NFL.
Tiny hands really stop a man from being a good quarterback. Which is, it's funny how he has small. He's a 6. He's like a taller guy. He has very small hands for a tall guy.
He does. I mean, yeah, people. I still just
Joe
feel
Burrow
like,
also had tiny hands though.
yeah, I think just people are freaking out about that a little more than.
I think
they
everyone's
should be.
taking it as a joke now. He's 6'3".
Yeah.
And has 8.5 size hands. I'm 5'9". I have 8.5 size hands.
Birth defect? I don't know.
Must be.
Maybe.
Maybe I should be 6'3". And Kenny Pickett's 23 years old.
Yeah.
How old is Malik Willis? Just curious about that. 22.
22. Okay.
And then Sam Howell's 21. Matt Corral's 23. So Sam Howell is the youngest in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Howell was supposed to be a top. Remember a year ago, before this last college football year, he was supposed to be a top 5 pick in the draft. Sam Howell, but I mean, everyone's talking about he's gonna be the next Baker Mayfield, obviously.
Yeah, what a great player Baker Mayfield is, huh?
Yeah, but like Sam Howell was supposed to be a really good quarterback, but his draft stock plummeted because he lost his entire O line from UNC and his 4 best skill guys. So when you think about it, like Sam Howell didn't have a horrible year at quarterback. He just didn't have any protection, he didn't have any weapons. I still don't think he would thrive under the Steelers system. I think a guy like Kenny Pickett, who's more of a Joe Burrow-esque, or Malik Willis, who's more of a Deshaun Watson guy.
Yeah.
Two very completely different skill sets. One kind of fits the old Ben Roethlisberger, young Ben Roethlisberger fitting,
Yep.
which I think is going to be better for the Steelers because Mike Tomlin knows how to play with a young Ben Roethlisberger. Kenny Pickett's like a young Ben Roethlisberger.
Exactly.
I mean, the guy that exudes young Ben Roethlisberger energy the most in the league is Josh Allen. I wish the Steelers could get a guy like Josh Allen. Duke's an absolute stud. Or Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert's also a Big Ben guy.
I like Justin Herbert.
I do like Justin Herbert. I do like Josh Allen's skill set as a quarterback, though. I know you don't like that, but it's true. Josh Allen is a stud quarterback. He is. He's a stud quarterback. I know you hate the Bills.
Yeah, if there's anything, looks like we got a caller here. Should we answer that?
Yeah, you should answer it.
Let's give an answer. Thank you for calling the Standard Talk. How can we help you today?
Hey, how's it going? First time caller, long time listener.
Welcome to the show. We appreciate it.
I appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Quick question for you. It may be a tough one.
All right, let's hear it.
Would you rather have the Steelers have a blowout season, an unbelievable season, undefeated, win the Super Bowl this year? Or would you rather know within your lifetime that they're going to win 5 Super Bowls?
Well, they've already won 2 in my lifetime.
Yeah, but you really only saw like one.
But
Like,
you go undefeated, you're the best team ever. You go undefeated and you win the Super Bowl, you're the best team to ever play the game.
that's true, but if you get 5 more, that gives you.
That's only for this year, though.
Yeah.
They wouldn't do it again.
Like-
They wouldn't ever have a season like that again. Or have
Well, no teams ever have a season like that ever.
But like, what if they never win the Super Bowl?
I think I would take my chances.
I-
But what happens if they win those next 3 Super Bowls when I'm 90 years old and can't enjoy it?
5.
You enjoy it at 9 years old?
No, 90. Like if I like.
Hey, you know what? If there's one thing I
If
want to see,
if I'm 90 years old and the Steelers win when I'm 90, 91, and 92 and they win those 3 Super Bowls, how am I going to enjoy that like I would when I'm 20?
I mean, true, but
The
that.
good thing about that is it's all hypothetical. We know they're not going to win that thing.
No, we don't know that. They could win. They could win double. They could win 10 more.
They've already won 6.
Exactly.
So
I personally would go with a 5 because that's, as a franchise as a whole, like that gives you a cushion. Like you got 11 Super Bowls. Like,
but then your rookie quarterback Kenny Pickett just won you an undefeated Super Bowl season.
yeah, but then you never win again after
You
that.
don't know
That'd be very painful.
Did he say you never win again? Or you
So
just
did he say those 5 Super Bowls will come when you're 90 years old?
It's
No.
all
That's
speculation
all
at the end of the day.
hypothetical. I'm just saying,
I-
I would take 5 more.
I'm taking the undefeated season.
I mean, they'd both be enjoyable.
I would love an undefeated season.
I
first
would.
of all.
The goal is Super Bowls, not regular season wins.
You go undefeated and win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but only one Super Bowl. Or you could just win 5
But he
Super
never said that you would never win a Super Bowl again.
Yeah, but I'd still go 5 Super Bowls.
You know they're gonna win again.
Knock on wood.
You know 5 are guaranteed. They could be
That's five more than one.
But is it 5 more in my 5 in my entire lifetime, or 5 more in my entire lifetime?
5 are guaranteed, and then the
So I
other
already have 2 then. We already have 2 used up then. So that means we only get 3 more.
It started from this point on. So
Starting from this point on, you get 5 more.
Oh, that's a tough question then. I'm still going the undefeated season. I want the undefeated season so badly.
Okay.
Well, I appreciate the call. I just want to give a quick shout out to my boy Josh Allen. He's the most underrated quarterback in the league.
We were just talking about Josh Allen.
You'll like this episode. Though,
Yeah, we were
because
just talking about Josh Allen.
We were just talking about him.
Man, I'm excited. They release every Sunday, right?
Every Sunday, yes, sir.
Shout out Steelers Podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, have a good one.
You do.
It was a good question.
It's a good question. I mean, I like the undefeated. I like the undefeated aspect of it.
Both good options.
Both great options.
Both great options.
I think you win an undefeated season, you're bound to win another one.
I mean, well, maybe not another undefeated season, but like if you got a team that good that
You're gonna win a
is
Super Bowl.
undefeated, you'll probably win.
You're gonna win
another
another Super Bowl
one.
after that. So I really believe that if you go undefeated, you're probably gonna win another Super Bowl later down the road.
Maybe that's the prophecy. Maybe we will get Kenny Pickett, and it will happen.
They almost did it with Ben Roethlisberger. They went 12.
Well, that's true. They almost did.
They went 11-0. That was fun.
Yeah.
That was a fun stretch until they sucked. Oh, I still remember the Steelers' first loss that year. I was at Home Depot watching the game on my little phone because I had to work that night because it got delayed. Remember? We were playing the Redskins.
Oh,
We were 11-0.
I thought you were talking about Ben's rookie year. I'm like, you were 3 years old.
No, I'm talking about
2020.
We
Yes.
were 11-0. And then
I was stuck
And
alone for that game.
we were winning 14-0.
Oh yeah.
You know, the 1 yard line is really tough. It's really hard to get a yard on 4 plays. Randy Fichtner.
Some teams it is.
I mean, even dinosaur at quarterback, I guess so.
And then you
But
lose.
he was playing so well,
You lose 4 out of your last 5.
and they
games.
even blew out teams like
Well, kind of.
they blew
We
out
blew out the Browns one
and
game.
the Bengals.
Well, that's the Bengals. I mean, the Browns were supposed
We
to.
lost to the Bengals,
Shut up.
and then we got blown out by the Bengals.
That was this year, but
Yeah.
yeah, we did twice really.
No, the first game wasn't that much.
It just felt bad.
They scored in the last second of the game.
But yeah, I mean, lost 4 out of those last 5 games that year.
I mean, you knew they were probably gonna lose the Bills.
Oh yeah.
You had to lose. You have to lose eventually. You're gonna lose.
I'm just glad we lost the game before we lost to the Bills. So,
Honestly, I'd rather go 12-0 because then
oh yeah, the one
would
game.
have been 13-3. Now 12-4. Then we would have been the second seed, not playing the Browns.
I guess.
Then we wouldn't have been playing the Browns. You know, if Mason Rudolph could have just beaten the Browns,
You know what? That we almost won that game. That game was close too. That last week.
I mean, they missed a PI call at one, but I'm not gonna say anything. But they missed the PI call. I was mad. My dad was like, "Why are you mad?" And I'm like, "I just hate the Browns. I don't want the Browns ever make the playoffs."
It's always the refs. Can't be yelling at our flag football refs this season either. Otherwise, that's a suspension.
I mean, I think
You're not allowed to kick anybody either.
one of our guys is gonna get suspended. It's probably gonna be me or you.
What do you mean? I'm well behaved.
Yeah, you're well be or Joe.
That'll be someone.
Imagine it's Ian.
I hope it's Ian.
I really hope it's Ian.
What?
Everybody out of nowhere, Parker got ejected.
Oh,
Even though Parker has the rage issues to get ejected.
really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect that. All right,
Really?
anyways,
From that little tiny kid? Of course so.
we're going pretty off topic here, but
I want a little off topic, but anything's on topic nowadays.
we've hit the flag football talk in there, so that's dumb.
Yeah. That's a dub right there. Back to reality.
Where were we?
We are in free agency now.
Yes.
So, I already have all the draft picks caps. So,
Okay.
I already have all the draft cap gone. So, like, that's it. And the Miles Killebrew and the Arthur Mullen thing going in.
Yep.
So,
So you're updated.
So far my so I'm at $17 million after all these transactions. We still have $17 million after these transactions.
Okay.
Cut Joe Schober, cut Zach Banner, cut Mason Rudolph, cut Joe Haig, sign Terrell, sign Akillo, sign Ray, sign Bobby Wagner, sign Tyrod. We're sitting at $17 million still. So we have the opportunity to get J.C. Jackson.
Yes.
That's a guy I think the Steelers need to get is J.C. Jackson.
I don't. Did we not say like when we said positions we need? Did we not mention cornerback? Because if
I
we didn't, then,
I think we accidentally skipped over quarterback. And
then
that was probably
we
my fault.
we need a quarterback.
Yes, we need a cornerback. Absolutely.
A true number one quarterback.
Corner.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you're saying quarter.
No, I'm saying quarter.
Whatever.
They sound the same.
There's a couple of guys you can get. J.C. Jackson,
He's the best one on the market.
Pat Pete.
Pat Pete. He's
He's old.
a little older, but brings some good experience.
Gilmore,
Gilmore, yep.
Tavon Young,
Not a bad option.
Javarius Ward,
Okay.
Desmond King,
Okay.
Casey Hayward, Jimmy Smith.
Casey Hayward was kind of a beast back in the day.
He's not anymore though.
Not anymore, but
Kevin King.
solid.
Really?
I think he's better than pretty much anyone else we have.
I think Killer's better.
Most guys.
Levi Wallace,
Solid player.
Trey Flowers.
Trey Flowers.
He's old.
He's a little older, yeah.
Steven Nelson,
Oh yeah, re-signed Steven Nelson.
Vernon Hargraves.
Okay.
I'm skipping over some guys I don't want, by the way. Kawan Williams, Eli Apple.
Eli Apple.
I'm saying that just as the meme. Anthony Averett, PJ Williams, and a bunch of other guys. Oh, Jason McCourty.
PJ Williams is bad. McCourty's old.
Yeah. Oh! You can bring an old fan favorite back. Artie Burns.
Let's not and say we didn't, because I don't think anybody should ever want Artie Burns to wear the black and yellow again. So,
I agree. So I think we can either get a J.C. Jackson or Stephon Gilmore.
I mean, ideally you want Jason Jackson, I think.
That's a $20 million contract you're taking, though.
That's the only problem, is that
So
because he's arguably the best corner
we would
in
have to make
football,
more cap space somewhere, which is not hard. I can restructure Stephon to his deal. Oh, no, I can't. You can't. We can't restructure Stephon to it. But we can restructure TJ, who has a $31 million cap hit,
nice.
and a Kim Hayward, who has a $17.4 million cap hit. I think you restructure the TJ. Wow. Wow. I restructured TJ's, saved $17.23 million.
Man's he's got a big contract.
I just clicked the restructure. So you restructure his base salary, you save $17 million.
So that matches what we already have.
So now we have $34 million
So you
cap
did-
space. So you can't get the J.C. Jackson.
You double that.
So I think you go right for the J.C. Jackson then.
I mean, ideally, yeah, 17 million. Wow.
I think you cancel. I just canceled all my free agents. Cool.
Oops.
Oh well, it's fine. But I'm going to restructure. I'm going to go back to restructure TJ's. Oh no, I put JC on the roster. Okay, $14 million.
Okay.
That's funny. If I restructure TJ's Watt though, I have to restructure TJ's. He goes down to the fourth highest paid player on the base salary deal.
Really?
Yeah. No, let's say screw it, and let's say that you restructure TJ and Cam Hayward.
Do both.
Restructuring Cam only saves $4 million, so it's more likely that the Steelers probably just restructure Cam Hayward to save the $4 million. But that would still give them the option to get J.C. Jackson.
It does. $4 million's a decent amount.
But I'm gonna go with they restructure both just cause.
Just cause.
We're just having fun with this at this point.
Yeah.
Let's say that the Steelers did get Stephon Gilmore too.
Get both of them. Okay.
Stephon Gilmore would be cheaper, but let's say they just did it. Let's say they just didn't get him, and let's try to get a wide receiver.
Another thing we need.
You can bring back Juju if you really want. I think the bridge is burnt though.
If you really want to, yeah.
Emmanuel Sanders, bring back an old man. I'm not a big fan of it.
At this point, no.
Honestly, there's not that many great wide receivers to take.
Well, do we have a list of options?
I
here?
do. Allen Robinson.
Not his fault. He had a bad season.
But he
Drafted him in fantasy.
he
and,
wants to go win.
Yeah. And we need more than just Allen Robinson if we would.
Devontae Adams has just been for they haven't changed Devontae Adams, but he's been franchise tagged.
Mm-hmm.
Hasn't signed it yet technically.
Yeah.
Will Fuller,
Well, Fuller.
injury
okay.
prone. T.Y. Hilton, injury prone.
Yeah.
Jamison Crowder, that could be a solid slot receiver option.
Yeah.
Keelan Cole, another solid slot receiver option.
Okay.
I don't want Albert Wilson, Sammy Watkins, Emmanuel Sanders, AJ Green, Zach Pascal.
They're all
Pascal could be interesting.
Pascal's not bad.
That's
The rest
interesting.
of them are kind of washed.
Kirk could be a solid slot receiver.
Christian Kirk,
Yeah.
he had almost 1,000 yards last
Yeah.
year.
You know what? The Steelers could go out and get Gallup.
Michael Gallup.
I know the Cowboys are down, like set to re-sign him. Steelers could go take him. DJ Chark,
Chark is another good one.
next thing outside receiver that would.
Yeah.
So if you get Chark, let's say you get Chark, Deontay and Chark on the outside, that means Chase Claypool moves to slot.
Interesting.
Not against that. I'm also not against re-signing James Washington as a wide receiver 4.
As Ford now, like,
I have another interesting one. Byron Pringle.
well, he killed us this year. Had 4 touchdowns in 2 games. So.
Russell Gage.
Russell Gage. I like Russell Gage a lot, actually.
Marquez Valdez Scantling.
Not bad. Not bad. Option.
Chris Sims. Cam Sims.
Cam Sims. I feel like I saw him on the roster yesterday or something. Like, did we sign Cam Sims?
Well, you can. Tampering hasn't started yet.
Maybe that's, I don't know what it was.
Jakeem Grant.
Okay.
Traquan Smith. James Washington. Adam Humphries. Rashard Higgins. Rashard Higgins was solid for the Browns for a little bit.
Yeah.
And they just got Amari Cooper, so they're probably not the ray of re-signing him.
Right.
Deshaun Jackson. Cardell Hodge. Ray McLeod, we already said we were going to re-sign him probably.
Mm-hmm.
Demarcus Robinson. Demir Bird. Matt Collins. D.D. Westbrook. Marquise Goodwin. Isaiah McKenzie. Blah, and a bunch of no names.
I don't think McKenzie's leaving the Bills.
Oh! Why is he so far down the list? Odell Beckham.
Really?
Yeah. He's very far down the list. Oh! Deshaun Hamilton. Laquan Treadwell. And that's all. That's
There's some good options there.
There are definitely some good options that you can save money besides. And
I don't see the point in really like signing someone like old like a Deshaun Jackson or
veteran presence. They don't have a veteran presence in that locker room for wide receivers.
no, but like
None of those guys are old. I do think that I think you get a Christian Kirk.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Kirk or Russell Gage, someone like that. Christian Kirk had
Allen Robinson would be really interesting.
he would too. Allen Robinson's a great player.
Jamison Crowder would be also interesting. He's a little bit older. He's older-ish.
A little bit, I guess, but
Yeah. Pascal.
I'd still take him. Pascal is very underrated, I think.
Yeah. I think I think you get one of those guys, you're good. I think it's unrealistic to say that the Steelers are going to get Allen Robinson.
Yeah.
I like Crowder in this instance. I know you like Pascal.
Well, I like a handful of those guys.
I think I think it's either going to be Kirk or I think if they do go out,
I think Kirk's the best one out of that group.
I'm going to try. I hope I'm going to say go sign Christian Kirk for how much do you think he's worth? He doesn't. He's only 25.
Yeah,
I think
no,
he's going to get $8 million.
He'd get more. Right now, I think he's probably like 6 or something. But
I think he would get an $8 million contract.
what he would get is probably somewhere in that range. Yeah.
Okay, and then another big need we need. We haven't talked about O-line. I think you could get, if you want, you could get a backup running back for $1 to $2 million. Raheem Mostert, Tariq Cohen, one of those guys.
Any one of those guys would be
Marlon Mack.
But he's and him too.
Yeah.
Marlon Mack used to be a starter.
I'm gonna go Marlon Mack and give him a $2.5 million contract.
I'd be perfectly fine with that. Literally, like,
I think that's a good value for him.
yeah.
Yeah.
Way better than Benny Snell.
Let's
Like,
go.
you-
Let's
you
check
need-
out any of the guards.
You need a backup running back like that to take some of the load off of Najee because
Yeah.
he's just a workhorse.
Yeah, for sure. I think Kendrick Green moves to guard. I'm going to look at centers real quick. I'm really interested to see what. So there was a report the Steelers are going to get Ryan Jensen.
He's like, what though?
He's not old.
No.
He's going to cost a lot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, it's going to come down to do the Steelers get J.C. Jackson? Actually, he's pretty old. He's 30. No, Ryan Jensen's 30.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you either get Ryan Jensen and you're going to pay him the $15 million, or you get J.C. Jackson, you're going to pay him the $20 million. I can tell you there's other centers on the market. Most of them are going to get taken back by their old teams, probably.
All right, well, who we got?
Ryan Jensen, Ben Jones, Matt Paradis, Ted Karras, Justin Britt, Bradley Bozeman, Mason Cole, Nick Martin, Brian Allen, Scott Quisenberry, Josh Andrews, Evan Brown, Kyle Fuller, Tyler Larson, BJ Finney, Greg Mance, Brett Jones, Donald Stanley, Adam Redmond. There's like Brian Jensen's the only big name there.
There's a couple like Bozeman. He's
old.
He's good, but yeah, he's old.
He's also a Raven.
Yes, he is. I just don't see the need in paying. I mean, maybe not the need, but like $15 million.
I honestly see them drafting more O-line in the draft.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I would much rather prefer they do that.
Honestly, I think if they do get a guard, it's going to be Trey Turner.
Bring him back.
Bring him
I
back.
don't think a lot of people would be happy with that.
I mean, he didn't do bad. He was really bad at inside blocking, though.
Yes.
I think I'm going to read the guards out. Brandon Sheriff,
He's a beast.
Yeah. Andrew Norwell, Roger Saffold, Mark Lewandowski, Laking Tomlinson, AJ Kane, Dan Feeney, John Feliciano, Will Hernandez, Trey Turner, James Daniels, Connor Williams, Alex Kappa, Ike Bodenberger, Louis Patrick, Billy Price, Alex Lewis, Trenton Scott, Austin Corbett, Kyle Long.
That group's a lot deeper.
Oh, well, yeah, it's guards, so it goes by both guards. And there's more, but none of these guys really interest me, and I don't want Richie kind of incognito on the team.
No, he's still in the league. Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay.
I also think you go for it. If you get one of those guys, you can. I don't think the Steelers do. I think they get one from the draft.
Yeah.
I think you look at outside linebacker.
I mean, you need some depth there.
Definitely.
Maybe someone.
They're definitely not going to get Chandler Jones or A.J. Klein.
No.
They're not going to get either one of those.
No.
They're not going to get Anthony Barr. Nicholas Morrow. They're not. I mean, I don't see why they would get him. I think these are the names that come interested me. Dennis Gordick, KJ Wright, Camus Hill,
Okay.
Kazir White, Randy Gregory, Hassan Reddick, Alex Anzalone, Nick Vigil, Damian Wilson, Kyler Fackrell, Devontae Campbell, and that's about it.
Hassan Reddick, I don't think would be realistic.
Von Miller,
Him-
but he wants to go back to the Broncos.
Yeah, no, he wouldn't either. Nick Vigil.
There's definitely a chance that they get one of those guys. I think the Steelers are going to definitely make a splash in free agency.
Randy Gregory, I don't think would happen either. I mean, some of those guys, though, you could or probably would be taken over for Highsmith. I think there's a couple guys on that list.
I don't
who are
think
better
you
than
can.
him, at least for this year.
See, that's the problem. If you they're so committed to Alex Highsmith that
They are.
you sign a guy like that, and Alex. I feel bad for Sam Highsmith. I love Sam Highsmith.
He's a funny guy. Shout out Sam Highsmith.
But a lot of those guys are better than Alex Highsmith. So you have to get a guy who's good but knows he could be a backup. So an older guy.
Right. Some of those guys are veterans, but
Some of those guys don't want to be a backup either.
yeah, most of them shouldn't be backups. Like, they're some good players. In it. Like,
That's why it's hard to get an outside linebacker in free agency when you have a TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith.
Right.
Because it's not like Alex Highsmith's a great player. He's okay,
Yeah.
and he's trending upwards.
He's young. He's worthy of.
He's
Playing
trending
time.
upwards
Yeah.
for sure. So after all those transactions, we still have, which is good. We have $7 million cap space left,
Okay, some wiggle room.
which it's fine because it just rolls over to next year.
Right.
And we now have 71 players on the roster.
Okay.
Plus, you're gonna get another quarterback.
Yep.
Plus, you're gonna add guys in the draft. 'Cause I really don't think they trade for Deshaun Watson as much as all these Steelers fans want, especially Jesse Marie. Jesse Marie really wants Deshaun. Do you know who Jesse Marie is on Twitter?
Yeah, yeah.
She's always on my timeline.
It was cool to speculate, like when they first announced it, like, oh, I'm hearing Deshaun Watson could happen
Sean,
soon
yeah,
after.
Sean King.
But
He said that.
Then you think about it, it's like, no. Like, oh yeah, he wants to be with Brian Flores and all that. It's like,
Brian Flores isn't the head coach.
Brian Flores is a linebacker.
How? Yeah, he's a senior defensive assistant,
Exactly.
and he's the linebackers coach. How much time is he gonna see with Deshaun Watson?
What? Yeah, like that doesn't matter. So,
I know. It's interesting that they took Brian Flores to the combine with Terrell Austin and Mike Tomlin and Kevin Colbert,
I did.
but they only took one offensive guy. It was Matt Canada.
Oh, yeah, it wouldn't-
I thought that was really interesting because it's like you bring all these vets. You bring Terrell Austin, who's been in the league forever. Brian Flores, has been a head coach. You bring Mike Tomlin, who's one of the greatest head coaches in the NFL right now.
Mm.
You bring Kevin Colbert, who's probably one of the best GMs in the NFL right now. You bring these four guys, and then you bring a stooge like Matt Canada with you.
I mean, I guess.
Honestly, I think you brought that. I think they should have brought the O-line coach with them.
Oh,
That
yeah,
O-line
100%.
He's an interesting signing for the Steelers, that O-line coach. People were kind of crapping on this guy for having pretty bad O-lines. But when you think about, like, he was with the Panthers, who the Panthers didn't have any talent.
He was with a bunch of different.
The Chargers O-line didn't have much talent.
Mm-hmm.
But he has the, like, he's an older guy. He's like 30+ years of experience in the NFL.
He's been around a while.
He has the experience to take him, so I think he could make the O-line better.
The teams he's with were like they weren't the best, but they were always middle of the pack. Like they were, you know.
And then I know some of these things are unrealistic. Like the Steelers probably aren't going to release Mason Rudolph as much as we want them to.
No, like he still may not be the starter, maybe, hopefully not, but like he'll probably still be in the roster.
I wish he wasn't. I mean, he might.
Me too.
Honestly, he might not be by the end. By the end, he might not be.
Let's hope not.
Because honestly, like, what is he good for?
Nothing.
We know what he's capable of.
Nothing.
It's nothing. Yeah.
Literally, like I saw a tweet yesterday, and I think it was like the five games he won. You can mostly attribute it to the fact that the defense only allowed opponents to score like 12 points in those games or something. I think. Like 12 points per
it was
game.
13. It was like 13 points. Like
Yeah.
12.6, 13.
It's like
So if you get more than 13 points, what are you going to lose? We just lost.
right.
Like we're watching the game. It's just the team scored more than 13. We lost. Thanks, base.
We were not capable of scoring 2 touchdowns,
Oh, that's it.
which with him, maybe probably not. So
Honestly, I like Tyrod. I like the Tyrod signing.
that's a good idea. That would be a good idea.
Oh, I actually signed Tyrod Taylor twice.
That's
We have $9 million now.
okay.
I actually put Tyrod Taylor twice.
A little more wiggle room.
I was really confused why. I mean, I wasn't really confused. Like $2 million, I wouldn't have noticed it right away. But yeah, we signed him twice. Oh, they actually didn't add the Arthur Mullet and the Miles Kilbrew contracts. And yeah, those
Not
are
up to date.
Nope, they're not.
That was like what today? Yesterday.
Okay, now it's $5 million
Okay.
because it's $2 million per year.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
I mean,
I'm looking through the roster's not great. It's not great. And it's not like it's bad. It's not like the roster's horrible in any means. Like, there's a lot of good players. on
there's
this team.
pieces. There's pieces.
There's a lot of really good players on this team, and it really comes down to who the hell is going to be the quarterback.
It is. That has been the big question. That will be the big question.
Do you know how much Julian Haskins is getting paid right now?
No, I didn't.
$2.5 million.
That's a
for
bit
next
much.
year.
That's a bit much.
They put a first round. They put a first round pick thing on him though. Like if a team wants him, he's a restricted free agent. So if a team wants him, they have to use a first round pick on him, which is really it's a bold strategy by the Steelers. I mean, they must like really have some confidence in him.
Apparently, like for a guy who was their third string quarterback last year,
It really shows they have a lot of confidence in him.
I guess so.
Let's see if there's any other news throughout the NFL. No, just that. Jacoby Myers just got put on a restricted free agent for a second round pick. And no team's gonna want to sign a free agent that has to look at that. Most of these teams don't sign restricted free agents because they don't want that.
No.
Because it's just like basically trading a player and then adding cap space to your team.
Yeah.
But obviously, some of the stuff's like very unrealistically. The Steelers could restructure T.J. Watt's deal.
Considering they just gave him a new contract last year, or this past year.
His agents kind of seem like assholes.
They were the ones that were pushing for more.
It's really that was horrible.
That saga was like.
Somebody announced this deal.
It took so long for him to sign.
Now
He signed what, like 6 days before week 1?
Yeah, I think
It was literally like.
then he got 2 sacks in the game.
Yeah, he had a great game, like worth every penny, but
They won.
yes, they did.
Lord.
They did.
And then I think the most obvious thing is they restructured Cam Hayward to save $4 million.
Probably.
Omar Hunt's on the case for that one. He'll figure it out.
Omar Khan, Brandon Hunt.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Omar Hunt. Omar Hunt.
Omar Hunt, Brandon Khan,
Maybe they both could be the GM. They still have time.
co-GM.
Is that a thing?
I wonder how that would work.
Probably not very well.
You probably doesn't.
one guy's going with power.
Exactly.
But that just slaps your phone. Ah!
Wake up.
Besides that, anybody else you want to add to the team while we're at it? We have $5 million in cap space if you want to add anybody.
I think we can hold on to that $5 million for
You sure?
next year.
Oh, Kenny Pickett's good too. Oh.
We're spending a lot more than we usually do already. So
Well, yeah, considering that we have 16 transactions that happened.
there you go. It's quite a bit.
Let's run down through the standard
Let's
transactions.
summarize that.
Cut Joe Schober for $8 million. Cut Zach Banner for $5 million. Cut Mason Rudolph for $3 million. Cut Joe Haig for $2.6 million. Sign Terrell Edmonds for $6 million. Sign Akilla Witherspoon for $3 million. Sign Ray McLeod for $1.5 million. Sign Bobby Wagner for $7.5 to $8 million. Sign Tyrod Taylor for $2 million. Sign JC Jackson for $20 million. Restructure TJ Watt. Restructure Cam Hayward. Resign Miles Killebrew. Resign Arthur Mullet.
Those have
And
already been
sign
done.
Christian Kirk for $8 million.
Yeah.
That's about all we have.
It's not your typical Steeler off season.
How fun would it be to be the GM?
Oh, we just were.
Basically. I mean, obviously, it's unrealistic, but like I think we could be pretty. I mean, that was pretty good. I think that's pretty good.
I
That's a
like.
pretty good offseason.
I would like that getting done. Yeah, absolutely.
And it's not like a lot of the stuff that we just did, not unrealistic.
It's not unrealistic.
This was probably all these Steeler fans would probably have like Chandler Jones, J.C. Jackson. I think this is a very realistic free agency for them.
Yeah.
Because
I completely agree.
a lot of the stuff we did was just cutting and restructuring deals to save cap space, and then we re-signed a lot of our own guys.
Right.
I think the one out of us reaching, I don't think J.C. Jackson for $20 million is reaching. I think us reaching is the Bobby Wagner deal. I think that's us. That's us reaching. That's us wanting something more. I don't think the Christian Kirk thing is out of the question.
I don't either.
Oh, and I forgot Marlon Mack for $2.5 million.
Marlon Mack, yeah, big.
Yeah, I don't think that's unrealistic either.
$2.5 million, not at all.
Yeah, I think these are all very realistic things that could happen, except the Bobby Wagner thing. That's just me being like, we need another linebacker. Let's get Bobby Wagner.
Well, that's what everyone says. It's just like, oh, I want him because we need him. He's good.
And it's not like the Steelers. The Steelers are like one of the top 3 teams to get him, according to those releases and like
Really?
according to the odds. Yeah, they're one of the top 3 teams to get him.
I mean, that's fine with me. Like,
It's just not realistic.
but probably not.
In other news, the baseball lockout's done.
Baseball lockout is done. Thank God. Spring training. That started already, right?
They're reporting today.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
They're playing full season, which is good.
your Cleveland Indians are going to suck.
I like that you said Indians. That's all that matters because that's who they are. They always will be.
And my Pittsburgh Pirates are going to suck.
Yeah.
Boom.
Let's go.
But the Pirates do have some guys. I don't know anything about the Indians, but I know that the Pirates, they have O'Neal Cruz, they have Brian Hayes, they have Brian Reynolds. Those are the 3 key pieces to building a team that can go to the playoffs or the World Series for the Pirates. Let's talk a little about the Indians while we're at it.
We got some good prospects, some good pitching. Couple of good players on, the team already. Jose Ramirez is a beast. Shane Bieber, best pitcher in baseball. But it's a very mediocre team. Like,
Oh yeah, well they're both they're both bad teams. Let's be honest, they're both horrible.
no, the Indians. They were like, I think for a while.
I'm telling you that the Pirates are going to be better than the Indians this year.
That's a bold statement.
Really? I don't think so.
The Indians.
The
were-
Pirates have the number two farm system in the MLB. The
Yeah, but
Indians do not.
this is 1 year. The Indians last year were in the playoffs.
Well, it's
for a
really
good
interesting what
amount
the
of time.
Pirates are doing. They're bringing up their number 1 overall pick that they took a year ago, Henry Davis, and because they don't have a catcher, I have never seen them bring up so many catchers in my life. They brought up 7.
7 catchers.
Yeah, so it's a pretty insane time. Henry Davis is very, very good for his age. It's really interesting. They didn't bring up some guys I thought they were going to bring up though, unless they're already on the roster. I just don't know. But yeah, I have this Pirates pitching scares the living shit out of me. It is so bad. They're so bad. Honestly, they have some really good skill guys though.
Really don't know. I know maybe 2 players on the Pirates. head.
Well, I just gave you 3.
I know. Well, yeah, but like before that, it would,
Cruz,
no Hayes and
Reynolds.
yeah, that's it.
Well, very interesting you say that because there's a rumor going around that Asian McCutcheon's coming back to the Pirates from last year.
I have heard that. Yes.
I would love that. I would. Speaking of that, I might have an internship opportunity with the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Mm.
Still waiting to hear back from them. Probably not going to get it, but who knows? Still could get it.
Go Bucks.
Let's go Bucks. So I get to watch the Pirates be mediocre as ever.
Yeah.
Thanks to the MLB blackout policy, I might never be able to watch a game. Love that policy.
That's right.
You can't watch them either
That's right. I
because
know.
you're an Indians fan. Yep, we live in Buffalo, which really makes sense. They should have changed that.
They should.
That
They
should be
will.
one of the CBA agreements things.
I agree.
They might change it.
Gotta do better than that.
They might have changed it. I don't think they did change it. They might have changed it though. They should change it. It's on AT&T Sportsnet,
Jeez.
which really sucks. It's on AT&T Sportsnet, but they're a partner with Bally Sports, but the Penguins aren't played on Bally Sports. I know the Pirates will be played on Bally Sports, but because they're both part of AT&T Sportsnet.
Well, yeah, hockey's all on Bally Sports, I think. Pretty sure.
Well, aren't the Indians on Bally?
Yeah.
Oh, so you're lucky.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Actually, I don't know if the Penguins are. Yeah, they're AT&T Sportsnet Pittsburgh. That's why everyone should just have the NFL policy. National games, NBC,
Yeah.
CBS, Fox, ESPN.
It'll be good.
Well,
So,
Apple TV got 2 games now every Friday.
2 games every Friday?
Yep.
Was it 1 last year?
They didn't have any last year.
Or maybe I think YouTube.
Oh
YouTube
Red.
TV would
Yeah,
do it.
YouTube Red had it.
Yeah.
I hate the MLB.
Well, I mean, it'll be good. It's always good to have baseball in the football off season.
Yeah.
But yes, I mean,
I think what we learned today is that we both should be the GMs of the Pirates. Not the Pirates. Well, the Pirates too.
not that you can take that.
Maybe the Pirates, but
I'll
the
leave.
Steelers.
I'll leave the Pirates alone.
No, I meant to say the Steelers.
Well, we can give whoever's coming up. We'll give them a year, see how they do. But
And next week, draft.
yeah,
draft.
draft is
It's gonna be
coming
very-
up soon. So
We'll both make some mock drafts.
yep, we want to try and knock that one out of the way before it happens. So prepare for that.
I'll be making some trades.
It makes time to make some moves.
Yeah.
So
What are you going to use, PFF or the NFL one? I think I'm going to use the PFF one.
I usually use NFL, but
The PFF one's kind of fun.
well, that we can each do the difference. So.
I'm going to use the PFF because I like the PFF structures of it.
So that is free agency talk today.
Episode 3.
Episode 3 in the books. Like you said, we'll be back next week for draft preview. So
Thank you to our caller today.
yes, thank you to our caller. It's a good question.
That was a fun question. I
Yeah.
liked it.
Good question. So yeah, thanks again for listening,
Thank
and
you.
we will catch you again next week.